solvent effects, as it's a continuation of SN1 and SN2. There are two different questions you can expect it. So as a question only we will discuss this content. SN1 reactions are carried out in polar protic solvents. Why? Or you can say the other question is SN2 reactions are slow in polar protic solvents. So what do you mean by polar protic solvents? I hope you know what is a solvent, right? So what is protic? And solvents are of two different types. There are different way of classifying them. One way of classifying them is based on the hydrogen. So there are protic and aprotic solvents. Protic solvents mean a solvent containing hydrogen. Say example as given here H2O, water, methanol, etc. Benzene, all this will come as protic solvent where you have hydrogen. But aprotic solvent mean a solvent where there is no hydrogen. And another way of classifying a solvent is first question it is SN1, in the second question it is SN2. Yeah, both are question. Another way of classifying a solvent is as polar and non-polar. It's based on the type of the bond. Polar bonds mean like in the case of H2O, hydrogen and oxygen got difference in electronegativity, alcohol, etc. Non-polar solvents mean like in the case of ethers, where the bonds are equivalent, like carbon-carbon bonds or carbon-hydrogen bonds are there. So they are equivalent bonds, so there is no charge separation. So this is not important for us, but what is important to be noted? SN1 reactions are carried out basically using a solvent. The medium of reaction is polar protic solvents. So you take the reagent, your substrate and your reagent, both should be dissolved in a polar protic solvent, mostly alcohol and water. But in SN2 reaction, if you take the same type of solvent, then the reaction will be very slow. Why? Why do we think the solvent affects the type of the reaction SN1 and SN2? The reason polar protic solvents mean they already say example you take water, it's a protic solvent, on top of that it's a polar also. That means there are negative charge and hydrogen positive because of electronegativity difference of oxygen and hydrogen. Oxygen is electronegative and hydrogen is not that electronegative. So there is charge separation. So it's a polar bond. So due to this polarity, what happens is like the nucleophile will try to make a bonding with hydrogen or will be part of a hydrogen bonding. So what happened? The reactivity of nucleophile will be to the ability of the nucleophile to attack a carbocation or to attack a carbon will be decreasing because it will be attracted by the solvent molecule to make a hydrogen bonding. So the reactivity decreases. So just write that thing. Polar protic solvents slows down the reactivity of a nucleophile by hydrogen bonding.
So for both the answers same.
Both
the answers will be same.
Yeah, both the answers. Question is same thing, asked in different way. Answer will be same.
But how the benefit is for SN1 reaction?
No, in SN1, what is happening?
The medium is and then
See, in SN1, it's not an attack of a nucleophile is an important thing because first reaction is breaking down. So already a carbocation is forming. So that positive charge is enough to attract a nucleophile. But in SN2 mechanism, what is happening? The first process to take place is the attack of the nucleophile. If a nucleophile is not attacking, then that reaction won't happen, right? So because of this reason, it is.
This answers the second question.
No, first.
Both are same, no?
First answer, the first part does get both same answer. It's get normal reason.
Mm. Yeah, it's actually second question and the answer, but you can explain it now with SN1 reaction also, right?
So since it slows down, it gives more time for you to leave.
So this is known as a solvent effect. That means solvent you're taking for a particular reaction, nucleophile substitution, also affect decides whether it's SN1 or SN2 or the rate of the SN1 and SN2 reaction. Because in SN2 reaction, what is important is the attack of a nucleophile. Nucleophile should attack from the rear side. So if the nucleophile reactivity is slowing down and the attack is not happening, means the reaction will not happen. So the solvent should be polar and aprotic solvent. The one without hydrogen, because it will be making hydrogen bonding. So in order to avoid the formation of hydrogen bonding, it should be aprotic. Huh? Dimethyl sulfonoxide. You will learn these examples in coming chapters. What? Previous slide was SN1 reaction. Actually, that slide is. This was the last slide we discussed. Specific mixture, and we discussed this also, the order. Then after that only it comes the solvent effect. Because we discussed the stereoisomer effect before, that's why. Okay, is it clear? So we are winding up SN1 and SN2. Yes?
So like why does it increase the speed for SN1 and not
Yeah, tell me what will be the reason, Jonathan, think.
I don't know, ma'am.
Anyone else have any idea why SN1 reactions are carried out in polar protic solvents?
Because since collaborative solvent slows down the reactivity of nucleophile, it gives more time for the leaving group to leave from the carbon, thus forming the carbon.
Yeah, actually in SN1 reaction, the first step is breaking down of carbon halogen bond. The leaving group should be broken first from the alkyl halide. So that step should happen, mean the nucleophile won't be able to, like, as it slows down, nucleophile won't attack the carbon before the bond break.
Okay, ma'am.
So this is what I am summarizing SN1. It took a lot of time to discuss SN1 and SN2, almost more than a week to discuss. That much it is important. That's why I was not worried about the time. Why SN1, SN2? No?
We started on Wednesday, now it's about Monday. Almost a week,
exactly. Almost a week, yeah.
Number of classes.
But you got every day 2 or 3 periods. 2 periods are there some days like that. So this is what the summary now. SN1 and SN2. SN1 is a unimolecular, SN2 is bimolecular, SN is two-step, and SN2 is one step through a transition state. Third point is like SN1 is mostly favored by tertiary and SN2 by primary. And SN1 is more feasible in polar protic solvent. The other one is in net protic solvent. Weak nucleophile directs SN1 and strong nucleophile directs SN2. In SN1, you will get leads to inversion as well as a retention. Both is what happen in SN1. Forms a racemic mixture, and in SN2, you're getting only the inversion, the product with inverted configuration. No, strength of the nucleophile. If a nucleophile with the more number of lone pairs or the excessive extra electron or the strong negative charge, okay, what you can say, the effective charge, negative charge on the nucleophile, it will be easy to attack the carbon. So strength of the nucleophile, so many factors. The size of the nucleophile, everything decides the strength. So strong and weak nucleophiles, some nucleophiles are very strong in taking part in the reaction, some are very slow because it won't be able to move.
Because it's a strong reaction, that's why it occurs in one step.
Strong nucleophile mean the nucleophile can initiate a reaction. So it will attack a carbon from the rear side. So that is what SN2. If a nucleophile is weak, then it's already a carbocation should be forming. Carbocation is already with a strong positive charge. Yeah, so even a weak nucleophile can attack a carbon. Here only strong can attack before the start of the reaction. So that is what SN2 bimolecular. So we have done the first reaction of haloalkane, that is nucleophilic substitution. There is elimination reaction and reaction with metal. Two more reactions in haloalkanes. Then we have reaction of haloarenes also. I think those reactions will move smoothly as you don't have to know all the background effects. Only the reaction and equation.
So mechanism wise, you have to only learn
Elimination mechanism is there. I'll tell you which are the mechanism you have to learn. Okay. Elimination will be reverse of an addition. So that will be easy. No, here it's substitution. One is substituted with other group. Elimination means from an alkyl halide, you're removing that halogen or hydrogen from it. So removing it so that it will form a double bond. That means in chapter grade 11 hydrocarbon, you learn a double bond plus adding something, you're getting haloalkane. Like that is a reverse of an addition of alkane. Anyway, we'll discuss that tomorrow. Thank you.